How's it going, everybody? Welcome to Conversations with Mike Sparks. My name is Joshua Rosales. I am filling in for the amazing State Representative Mike Sparks today, and really got a great show lined up. I have a great guest on the other line. Dallin Baker, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here, Josh.
Awesome. Sounds great. So, we're getting ready to go into this segment and really talking about inflation, talking about investing, talking about using your retirement funds to invest in alternative investments. And, it's a space that I'm currently in, also working in this space, and also Dallin Baker, who is my co-worker and also very familiar with self-directed investing using your retirement plans. We're just going to talk a little bit about it. A lot of people don't know, and it's starting to take. A lot of people are starting to catch wind of it, and it's really, I would say it's probably not for everyone, but it's definitely a great tool in your tool belt to be able to help build wealth. And so without any further ado, like I said, my name is Josh Rosales, and I'm filling in here with Conversations for Mike Sparks. And Dallin, if you could introduce yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. So my name is Dallin Baker, and I set up these self-directed retirement plans with Josh. And really, we just help investors who are wanting to utilize tax-advantaged retirement plans to make the same investments that they are already making in their personal life, whether that's gold, silver, real estate, or even cryptocurrency. All of our clients are interested in different things, and we're not tax advisors or financial advisors, so we're not going to tell you what to invest into, but we just create these self-directed retirement plans so that you have that flexibility to invest what you want to.
And that's totally correct. A lot of people, they have their 401ks invested in different things, and half the time they don't even know what it's invested in. I know for myself, being in the banking industry for like 22, 24 years, I had a 401k, and all I know is that money came out every 2 weeks, went into that 401k, didn't really know what it was invested in. Plus with my life, and most individuals' lives, they really don't take the time to say, oh, what is my 401k invested in? And especially right now, with so much opportunity to be able to take retirement funds and to be able to use those to invest in alternative investments, even cryptocurrency. I think, Dallin, you and I have talked a few times or quite often about just in cryptocurrency and what that's happening right now, and with self-directed retirement, being able to invest in crypto. Let me ask you a question, Dallin. You do a lot of research, a lot of study with inflation happening. If you're self-employed with self-employment income and you have 0 employees, so you're self-employed with self-employment income, so your business is generating revenue, and you have 0 employees, what is the benefit of, most people will set up an IRA, but what's the benefit of having the self-directed solo 401k? Some people don't even know about the solo 401k. Can you break that down a little bit for us, Dallin, and really share the benefits of that and how it can really help, especially with contributions every year?
Yeah, absolutely. So with an IRA, it's an individual retirement arrangement, and so anybody can qualify to open up an IRA. And the IRAs that we create are self-directed, meaning that you have checkbook control and you are allowed to invest in alternative assets. The benefits of the solo 401k, it is an employer-sponsored plan, so you do have to be self-employed to qualify. But in basically every way, it is hands down the better structure over the IRA. You have roughly 10 times the contribution limits, the amount of money that you can put into this plan every year. If you are investing into real estate using your solo 401k, and you are using debt to buy that real estate, there is no UDFI tax inside of a solo 401k. While that same situation, there would be UDFI tax inside of a self-directed IRA. So there are different nuances like that with the solo 401k, but in basically every way, it is hands down the better structure if you qualify for it.
Exactly. And, it's, I'm always talking to, friends, family members, acquaintances in regards to, hey, so what do you do for a living? Well, I help people reach their maximize their retirement funds by setting up self-directed retirement plans. And being in this industry for, I don't know, I say about 2 years, I've learned a lot. In the beginning I really didn't know about self-directed retirement, and my neighbors, both of them are in the trucking industry right now, and I'm sure you know a lot about this, Dallin. Right now, my one of my neighbors, they have 7 semi trucks, and they've had to park like 5 of them because of the economy and the inflation, and it's really just dried up. And a lot of people, well, some people I hear, they say, oh no, the economy is doing great, blah blah blah, but I'm like, yeah, but my neighbor has 5 of his trucks parked because it's just he's saying that there's just no work. And with this, we see the economy tick up, and with individuals that have retirement 401ks or old 401ks or IRAs, these funds just sitting in it, I think it's really important that that individuals start looking at their retirement, not just say, oh, let me put my my annual contribution of $7,500 a year in this IRA, and then every year I just make my contribution. But no, how can I actually take this money and put it into a self-directed retirement plan and really direct this money to really help maximize my retirement, so when I'm 59 and a half or older, I can have more than what my normal contribution I'm putting in is. What are your thoughts?
I totally understand where you're coming from, and I see it a lot in my personal life as well, and I'm sure there are a lot of people here listening on that feel that same way. One of the things that I've loved while working here is just the experiences that I've had and the people that I've worked with. I know so many people in my personal life who have these retirement plans, IRAs, 401ks, and they're not self-directed. They have these accounts, but they never use them. And so what I've liked is by working through this and helping these people, is that I hear so many of their experiences where they talk about what they're investing into and how much it's helped them being able to move it over to a self-directed plan where they're able to actually control and manage those investments and know what they're investing into. But yeah, a lot of our clients are having much better returns because they're self-directing those investments. And it's been super good for me to hear on a personal level, just all the different success stories that we've had where people are so happy and excited because they're now able to take advantage of these tax advantage accounts.
You're absolutely right. And, one thing that you allude to quite often is, and I'm not sure if the average individual, which I consider myself, where just a lot of us are so busy in life, we don't take the time to really do some research. But there are some, say, 401k plans, probably not at every corporation or every employer, but some 401k plans will allow you to take money out of your 401k to invest it or roll it over into another qualified plan to self-direct.
Yeah, that's correct. The only thing that they need to make sure of is that their employer-sponsored 401k plan allows for in-service distribution. And the thing is even as most of the time, that's just an election that can be changed on the 401k plan documents. So even if your plan doesn't currently allow for in-service distribution, if you talk to your HR department and ask, a lot of times it's something that they can add to the plan documents to allow for you to move it over to a self-directed plan. But yeah, there's definitely lots of options for people if they're wanting to utilize these accounts.
Exactly. I think I forgot the number, but just retirement or wealth that's going to be transferred over to the next generation is like in the trillions of dollars. And here at, Discount Solo 401k or Safeguard Advisors, this is what we do. We specialize in this. And, whether it's you're a W-2 employee and you're getting a paycheck and you're like, I just don't want to go to a bank and say, hey, I want to open up an IRA. IRA, but say, hey, we really like to be able to self-direct these retirement funds into alternative assets. I mean, Dallin, if you go into a bank and you say, hey, I want to open up an IRA, me coming from the banking industry, I would be like, number one, we don't get a lot of people coming into the bank wanting to open up an IRA, and I'll be like, caught like a deer caught in the headlights. And it's like, okay, we're gonna make your initial contribution, and we're gonna set up your IRA. And your IRA, the only things that you can invest in is you can put your money in a savings account, or you can put your money in a CD, and then whatever the interest is on a savings account, or whatever the interest is on a CD, then that's what you get stuck with normally on a bank CD, and because a lot of people don't have the amounts to go into talk to a financial advisor. Usually at a bank, there's a limit, or there's a threshold of, hey, you got to have $100,000, or you got to have $500,000 before you can even talk to a financial advisors. And so a lot of people just settle for opening up an IRA and making that annual contribution. Whereas if they knew that, hey, even if I'm a W-2 employee, I can open up a self-directed IRA, and I can actually just, if the interest rates are, say, 2% or 3%, like, I can actually take control of my own retirement, and I can actually invest in investments that I know, or I have a great idea based on research, that are actually going to be paying more than what I'm actually getting with my money sitting in a CD or savings account.
Yeah, absolutely. So what I've liked seeing is just the diversification of what people are investing into. There's so many different people who utilize these accounts. So it's really interesting getting to hear all the different stories and what people are investing into. One thing that I've noticed is people invest into what they know. So, for example, like real estate agents that open up accounts with us, they're really big into buying real estate. And that's totally fine. But what we've seen with this is that people are able to get much better returns on these investments because they're investing in something that they know on a personal level. So with these accounts, the great thing is that you have complete flexibility and control, so you can control what you're investing into. So yeah, if you have a particular investment that you've been looking at, doing a lot of research on, and you say, hey, this could be a great investment for me, well, now you have an option to make that same investment inside of a tax-advantaged plan.
And that is totally correct. And, here in Rutherford County, in Tennessee, where I live in Murfreesboro, in Rutherford County, is one of the top 5 places to move in the United States. And, I wake up every day and I see a new business popping up. It's like a new business is being built, or a new subdivision is being built. And if you have the assets to be able to utilize your retirement plan to purchase residential property, or to purchase a business. And that's the other thing too, Dallin, is like, if switching it from just a W-2 employee to a entrepreneur, self-employed, that is self-employed with self-employment income and 0 employees, to be able to utilize those funds to purchase a business. I was on one of the I was on Instagram, and one of the reels, they were talking about some of the businesses that are really good to buy is like a laundromat, or buying businesses that have low overhead. And it's like, it would be awesome if you could use your retirement funds in a self-directed solo 401k to purchase a laundromat, or to purchase a business, or to purchase to buy into a business where, instead of just having your money sitting there, you're actually using your retirement plan to make those monies work for you. So then when you get to the age of retirement, even tax liens. I mean, you can invest in tax liens. So, I mean, there's just so much that you can do, because like you said, an individual knows best how to handle their money. And, it's kind of like government, it's like, oh, let government handle your money. Let government handle all this. No, why don't you keep your hands off my money and let me handle my money the best way that I know how to handle it, because I know what I want to do. And so not a lot of people know, but more and more people are starting to understand the concept of self-directed retirement accounts. And, they are, it is a qualified plan. You can, do a direct rollover into these plans. And even, and, with an IRA, there are some rules and regulations with the IRS, and that's where, as a plan provider, we create those plan documents for you, and then we, like you said, we're not tax advisors, we're not CPAs or accountants, but these are some of the best ways to build your retirement.
Yeah, and one thing that I think people generally don't think about is how much their 401k plan costs that they already have set up with their employer. A lot of times, as a fee, they'll take 1 to 2% of the amount that you have inside of your plan. And so those fees add up. They get very expensive very quickly. And so with us for the solo 401k plan, it's just a flat rate, $100 a year. And that fee is all inclusive. So yes, you get the flexibility to invest self-directed and control what you're investing into. But at the same time, you're able to stop slowly draining out your retirement plan on all of these different fees that are coming out. But yeah, that's something that I think most people are unaware of, is just how much they're already losing on their current 401k plan. So this could be something that gives them more flexibility and control and is saving them money.
And I think you hit the nail on the head. It's the fees. A lot of people don't understand the fees, what they're getting charged. And sometimes, those fees are based off the amount of money that you have invested, and those fees can rack up to quite a bit. And of course, you're not really paying attention to it. And so, and then a lot of people are just like, hey, I have somebody just giving me a call once a year and saying, hey, I think these stocks, right here would be, these are stocks that you really need to keep in mind. And, this is what I would go with. And then you're like, okay, let's do that. And then they wait for another year, and then you're paying fees on that money. And so really being able to take advantage of self-directing your own retirement funds is a benefit that, more and more people are starting to understand. And especially, if in a growing market, this is a phenomenal way to go. And there's conferences all over the United States. There was conferences here in Nashville, Nashville, Tennessee. But I would dare to say, and Dallin, I'd like to get your thoughts on this. I would dare to say whether the market is up or whether the market is down. Being able to self-direct your retirement, whether it's a self-directed IRA or a solo 401k, it doesn't matter what the market is. You're always able to use those funds to self-direct in alternative assets. Yeah, absolutely.
And I think another thing is that the most money is made is actually when you're at the bottom. So even when the economy is bad, when things are at their low point, that's actually when the highest gains can be made. So yeah, you hit the nail right on the head. Regardless of what people think the economy is doing, up or down, if you're trying to take advantage and self-direct and control what you're investing into, there's never really a downside to that. It doesn't matter the timing. You're getting so much benefit by being able to control that and keep your hand at the wheel versus just passively waiting to see what happens.
No, definitely. My eyes have been open, Dallin, and I'm sure yours have as well. I never knew about self-directed retirement plans. I knew that, my one of my family members owns property in Puerto Rico, and it's like every time you want to, she's thinking about selling that property, and it's just like, man, if you sell a piece of property, you have to pay capital gains tax, and you're having to do all this paperwork. But what if you purchase a piece of real estate in a solo 401k or a self-directed retirement plan, and then you keep it for a period of time, then you end up, you wanting to sell it. There's benefits in using your retirement funds, qualified retirement funds, through a self-directed retirement plan to purchase and sell real estate to build your wealth.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if you're going into like a traditional pre-tax account or to an after-tax Roth account. Both of the accounts that we set up, they are tax advantaged. And so, yeah, if you're looking to utilize this and to lower your tax liability, this is a great place to do it at.
Exactly. So, when we set up plans, there's a self-directed solo 401k, and then there is a self-directed IRA. And can you explain to our listeners the difference between the solo 401k, and we kind of already explained the difference, but we set up with the solo 401k, we set up a trust. And then in the self-directed IRA, we usually set up an LLC. And so what allows an individual to be able to self-direct versus, just having a 401k or an IRA and not really being able to take advantage or take control of their own investing?
Yeah, absolutely. So the way that this plan is different from others is the way that it's set up. So, for example, it's like a weird umbrella structure. So you have the IRA, and then the IRA owns either the LLC or the trust. And that entity that's owned by the IRA is really what gives you checkbook control. So it doesn't matter if you're buying real estate, buying stocks and bonds, investing in tax liens, you name it. All you would need to do is create those accounts and investments and title them in either the trust name or the LLC name, and then use the entity's EIN. And then as long as you are moving the funds around between different accounts that are all owned by that same entity, it is by extension inside that IRA, and so it would be tax advantaged. But, this is something that as long as it can be titled in some kind of entity name, then you are free to invest into it. There are some prohibited transaction, prohibited persons rules, but really the biggest thing to remember is if you have questions, you're allowed to call and ask us. If you are allowed to do it, if it's a prohibited transaction, things like that. So it's better to ask in first to make sure. But with this, you can go ahead and just title your investments and assets in the entity name using the entity's EIN, and then you would either be the manager of the LLC or the trustee of the trust, and so you can make investments on behalf of that entity.
And that's one of the most incredible benefits, is to be able to take advantage of self-directing those funds. And the process on setting something like this up is not too long. On a solo 401k, of course, it's not going to take that long. On a self-directed IRA, it may take a little bit longer. That's because there's a few more steps involved in that. But if you're interested, you've never heard about this before, self-directed retirement funds, using your retirement funds to purchase real estate or alternative assets. A lot of your other investment brokers don't allow you to invest in real estate or don't allow you to invest in alternative assets. There's only a few things that you can invest in, maybe stocks, bonds, mutual funds, some other things. But just to be able to give you more options, utilizing your retirement funds in a self-directed retirement plan is going to give you the ability to really impact the outcome. The end result is when you retire and choose to take those funds out and use those funds for your cost of living, you're going to be able to have more funds in there versus if you just had your funds restricted to whatever investments that you are allowed to put your money in. I've learned a lot, man.
I think the self-directed industry right now is really blowing up, especially towards the end of the year. People are interested in lowering their taxable liability, especially for those people who are high-income individuals or self-employed. They're interested in lowering their tax liability, and so this might be something that a lot of people are interested in, especially coming up towards the end of the year. But if people are interested in it, they are welcome to go to our website and submit an application online.
Yeah, and even if you submit an application, or if you go to our website, discountsolo401k.com, discountsolo401k.com, or was it Safeguard Advisors?
It's IRA123.com.
IRA123.com, either IRA123.com or DiscountSolo401k.com, to be able just to even have a consultative call that costs absolutely nothing to have, to get a little bit more information about how to take your retirement funds and really use those retirement funds to maximize. The end goal is that to be able to retire with more money and to be able to take control of your retirement funds and be able to invest them in alternative assets. And so, the call is absolutely free to make, and the application, you're more than welcome to look at the application, to look at some additional information that we have on the website to get, more educated on the topic. And of course, we're not in the industry to sell you anything. What we want to do is just offer you information that's really going to help you and help yourself, help your family. And the end goal is to have more money when you retire. And so those consultative calls are free. What are some of the calls that, not in detail, but just some of the questions or some of the calls that you get, Dallin, on a daily basis?
So a lot of times people are just interested in how to make it work. And what I've noticed is so many people have loved how simple this process really is. Like I said, you have this LLC or a trust. You are the manager of the LLC or the trustee of the trust. And so you can go ahead and make investments on behalf of the entity and sign for it. And so when I go through and I explain this, so many people have just loved the simplicity.
Yeah.
And how these are different nuanced accounts, and there definitely can be some complexity. So if you have questions, don't hesitate to reach out. We're here to help. But no, that's been the thing that our clients have really loved, is the way that it's laid out. It's very simple, very straightforward, and it opens the door for you to start investing yourself.
Well, Dallin, we are stay on hold. We're getting ready to take a break. My name is Josh Rosales. We have my good friend and coworker Dallin Baker. We are here with Conversations with Mike Sparks. I'm really excited to be filling in for him. We're going to be taking a commercial break.
AFFI is Middle Tennessee's premier choice for pest, wildlife, and moisture control. They specialize in those difficult and unique cases. You can reach them by phone at 615-300-2395. That's 615-300-2395. Or stop in at 200 Glenrose Lane in Smyrna.
Dr. Automotive Auto Repair and Maintenance Mechanic Shop Garage provides car owners in Smyrna, Murfreesboro, Laverne, and the Middle Tennessee area with excellent auto repair services. Deep-rooted experience in serving both foreign and domestic automobiles allows for proper diagnosis in a timely manner. Check them out online at autorepairsmyrna.com, call them at 615-220-0971, or stop on in at 1205 Hazelwood Drive in Smyrna.
Hey, it's Josh Rosales, and I am filling in for the incredible State Representative Mike Sparks here on Conversations with Mike Sparks. I was thrilled when Mike Sparks asked me to come in and fill in for him. He's getting more educated over at the University of Middle Tennessee State University, and my relationship with Mike Sparks has been incredible. Mike Sparks has done so much for Rutherford County in regards to so many different things, and he has really proven to be a great state representative. Honored to be able to volunteer on his campaign and be able to just work closely with him. A lot of times you don't know too much about an individual until you start working alongside with them, volunteering with them. And State Representative Mike Sparks has a passion for the community, not just here in Rutherford County. He has a passion for individuals. He has a passion to help individuals get to where they are, to where they want to be. Great mentor. Can't say enough great things about Representative Mike Sparks. In the last maybe couple of years, maybe 2-3 years that I've known Mike, he's just been an incredible mentor and has done a lot in regards to the state of Tennessee and Rutherford County. And so I am honored to be filling in for Mike Sparks here on Conversations with Mike Sparks. If you've missed out on the first part, I have my good friend and co-worker Dallin Baker. He is with Safeguard Advisors. We're just talking about our day jobs, self-directed retirement plans. I'm with Discount Solo 401k. This is self-directed retirement funds, using your qualified retirement funds to invest on alternative assets like real estate, purchasing businesses, cryptocurrency, stocks, bonds, mutual funds, tax liens. A lot of times, Dallin and I, we were talking earlier how a lot of times people have a solo 401k but don't even know what their money is invested in. We were talking over the break in regards to non-recourse lending. That's another aspect that, we're going to touch on, maybe on another show. But, within some of the benefits of having a self-directed solo 401k, one of the requirements is you got to be self-employed with self-employment income and 0 employees. Why is that, Dallin?
Yeah, absolutely. So with a standard 401k plan, you're not allowed to have any one person getting more benefit than the other. And so with a self-directed plan like this, where you're allowed to invest into alternative assets, one employee or the employer might be able to get better returns off of investments than the employee. So, yeah, it has to do with not excluding anybody and everybody being able to get the same treatment. So if you do have employees and you have like a 401k plan with like Fidelity or Schwab or something like that, you can only invest into the what they're willing to sell you. So like their stocks, bonds, and mutual funds. But that is true for everybody at the company, so there's no special treatment. But yeah, so that's the reason why it has to do with special treatment. But yeah, with the solo 401k plan, if you're self-employed with no full-time non-owner employees, then you do qualify for the solo 401k, and it's generally much better than the IRA.
And with the IRA, you're making your annual contributions, and that's what, $7,500 a year, and then with your solo 401k. The really cool thing I like about this, Dallin, and you can speak to this as well, is that you can make contributions based on the employer and the employee, which means that you can be contributing, like you said, almost 10 times more into your retirement than you would be utilizing a self-directed IRA or in an IRA. And to be able to have that as a benefit, to be able to make a contribution as an employer and then make contributions as an employee. And then that's incredible. So can you talk a little bit about that? Yeah,
definitely. So with the solo 401k plan for 2024, your maximum contribution limit is $69,000. If you are over 50, then you have a backup contribution, which is an additional $7,500, bringing the total up for this year to $76,500.
That's incredible.
Now, that is including both the employee and the employer side. But if you are self-employed, you are definitely able to use both of those buckets. You do have to have the earned income to support that level of contribution. But yeah, you are able to do 10 times the contribution limit of an IRA. So if you are higher net worth, you bring in more money. The solo 401k is definitely the better option if you qualify.
Yeah, my name is Josh Rosales. I am here filling in for Mike Sparks on Conversations with Mike Sparks, talking with my coworker Dallin Baker, good friend of mine. We're talking about all things self-directed investing, self-directed retirement plans, and it's incredible to be able as a number one, the United States is built on the backs of entrepreneurs and small business owners, and then a lot of times small business owners, I forgot the numbers, like what, 3 out of 5 or some crazy number that with when someone starts a business, more individuals that start businesses go out of business within the first, I think, 2 years than are successful. And then when you talk about a small business owner that is, oh yeah, they're making money. Well, they're making a little bit of profit, but you're not taking into consideration the overhead. You're not taking into consideration of all the other expenses that a small business owner has. And so at the end of the day, they may pay everything off and they may have $5 left over, and they're like, oh yeah, they're making money, but they have to clothe themselves, they have to feed their family, they have to pay their bills, and they have to do all that. And so, being able to have a self-directed with an individual who is self-employed with with self-employment income and having 0 employees can reward themselves as the employer and the employee making those contributions is really incredible, because a lot of times, Dallin, you know, and I know, a lot of small business owners, their retirement is their business. Their retirement is their business. And if their business goes belly up, that's their retirement. And if their business does great, then that's great. But how can we take what they have now? How can we maximize it? If they're saying, hey, I got $1,000 left over and I need to really make that work for me. Well, if you're self-employed with self-employment income and 0 employees, we can set up a self-directed 401k for you where you can put that $1,000 in as a contribution. Or if you have a previous employer that you left to start a business and you want to roll those 401k funds over into your self-directed 401k and utilize those funds to invest in alternative assets, then you can. But you know, I think that as an individual, a small business owner, I said this is a phenomenal way to ensure that when you retire, you're going to retire with peace of mind.
Yeah, definitely. And with these accounts, there's so many options, which is what I love about them. And it's easier to talk about the things that you're not allowed to do than to talk about all the things that you are allowed to do. Because again, there's so many options within this solo 401k plan. So really, the prohibited transaction rules are pretty straightforward. You're not allowed to benefit from the retirement plan, and the retirement plan is not allowed to benefit from you. So there's a complete separation between you and this plan. So the 401k can buy real estate, but it can't buy your house from you or pay your mortgage. And if the plan buys real estate, you can't show up and mow the grass or paint the walls. That would have to be coming from the plan. And then the same thing is true for your linear ascendants and descendants. So parents, grandparents, children, grandchildren. The same rules that apply to you apply to them. That is not true for siblings, cousins, friends, you name it. It's just linear ascendants and descendants that have the same prohibited persons rules as you. Aside from that, you are not allowed to invest into anything illegal or art or collectibles. So no fancy cars, no NFTs, no Pokemon cards, whatever it is that you're into, you're not allowed to invest into art or collectibles or life insurance policies. But really, those are what you should be aware of. A general rule of thumb is if it benefits you on an individual level, it's probably prohibited. But you are welcome to call in and ask it, or to gain guidance to see, am I allowed to do this? How would I make this investment? Things like that. And we just offer support and guidance on these plans.
And you can
really, it's much easier to talk about what you can't do than what you can do.
Definitely. And you can reach us at IRA123.com, IRA123.com to get additional information about that, or discountsolo401k.com. That's discountsolo401k.com. We are definitely available to answer any questions that you have. We're not trying to sell you anything. All we're doing is offering you information, giving you the information to make an educated decision that's going to be best for you and for your family. Like I said in the beginning, learning about self-directed retirement plans, it was like, wow, this is a whole new world. A lot of people, and it's crazy, Dallin, the rich get richer because they know about these different tools and different ways to invest and taking advantage of tax-free or tax deferment. It's crazy that, the average person, we're so busy working that we don't take time to really investigate to say, hey, how can I really maximize my retirement plan? And, I heard someone say, or I think I read it, that most of your money, Dallin, is made You may know this as well. Most of your money is made between when you're 40 and 60. When you're age 40 and 60 is when most of your money is made. But taking this to our younger generation, if you're 18, 19 years old, or even probably even younger, like if you can't understand investing and utilizing a self-directed retirement plan, or if you're 18, 19 years old and you have a business, maybe it's an Instagram business, you have a business, social media business, or you're selling clothes, or it's crazy young people, Dallin. When I was in banking, I was, as a manager, I would come across every so often young people that would come and sit down with me, and come to find out through having a great conversation with them is that they would go to like the Goodwill and vintage stores and they would buy clothing. Then they would turn around and they would flip that clothing on Instagram, or whether it's shoes, and they would actually have a legitimate business. And if you can get started young investing your money that you're making, and then when it comes time 59 and a half, or whenever you decide you're pulling that money out, you can really have a really nice nest egg. And starting young the earlier you start, the better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. One thing that you said reminded me of this. So I can't remember where I heard it, but it was the reason why poor people stay poor is because of debt and taxes. The reason why rich people stay rich is because of debt and taxes. It's learning how to play the game, learning how the rules can benefit you, and how to take advantage of the opportunities that are in front of you. But yes, learning how to lower your tax liability is huge for a lot of people. And, so much of your money every year or during your life is going to go to the government in the form of taxes. So yeah, learning how to lower your taxable liability, and really just keep more money for yourself to be able to use, help your family, grow your business, whatever it is that you're wanting to do. Learning how to take advantage of the rules that are available to you is such a huge leap forward for so many people.
And these rules are available to anybody. It's just that the rich know how to play the game. And here at Discount Solo 401k and Safeguard Advisors, like, you can get a hold of us at IRA123.com or DiscountSolo401k.com. That's IRA123.com or DiscountSolo401k.com to be able to have a conversation, just to learn a little bit more about it. We're not saying, hey, make a decision right now. We just want to provide information, because information is power. And without information, then you stay where you're at. And so you look around and you see a lot of individuals driving, not necessarily driving Ferraris, but some of them driving Ferraris or Range Rovers, or Warren Buffett drives an older vehicle and lives in the same house he lived in. I think probably the first house he bought. But it's utilizing your money to make more money in different ways, legal ways, to really maximize it, so you can not only just retire comfortably, but you can also retire with generational wealth, passing that wealth along to your family. You can never start learning. You're never too old to start learning. So whether you're 20, 40, 60, it's 70. I mean, you're never too old. You're never too old. And so self-directed retirement plans are a great way to build wealth, not only for yourself, but for your pass it for generations. And there's a lot of things that you can do, and a lot of people just are not aware of that. And so I'm really excited, to be able to fill in with for Mike Sparks on Conversations with Mike Sparks, being able to have this conversation with you, Dallin. Not only do we work together every day and we talk to people in regards to self-directed retirement plans, but we also get to take advantage of that ourselves, and being able to have that and seeing our money work for us, instead of just put money in there and not knowing what it's going towards, is awesome. I know you're pretty big in crypto, aren't you?
On a personal level, yeah, I do like crypto. Yeah.
So how does self-directed retirement plans help you with investing in crypto?
Yeah, so it's super easy if you're wanting to use a tax-advantaged account. So there are other places that do this. Like iTrust Capital is one that I know where they do gold, silver, and crypto IRAs. The thing is you're only allowed to invest in products that they're willing to offer you. Again, the way that our product works is you have either a trust or an LLC that's owned by your retirement plan, and you're just going to open up any bank or brokerage account in the name of that entity. So yeah, you can go open up a crypto exchange account with Coinbase, Kraken, Binance, whatever one you want to go to, and you can just start buying cryptocurrency directly using your retirement plan. So there are some rules on it, some gray areas about what you can and can't do. You probably don't want to touch the funds yourself or transfer it to like a cold storage wallet that you keep in your home. That's coming from the McNulty case where they had gold in their basement, but there hasn't been any court rulings with crypto, so it is a gray area on how that works. But yeah, if you have like a third-party non-custodial wallet that you have, then that might work great for you. But yeah, you can just open any kind of crypto exchange account with your entity and then just start investing directly.
So your crypto exchange account is more like a brokerage account, right? If you're investing in stocks, bonds, or mutual funds.
Yep, absolutely. The thing with the crypto exchange account is they only sell cryptocurrency. So while if you go to open up an account like Fidelity or Schwab, they have multiple different suites of products. With a crypto exchange, there's just multiple different cryptocurrencies you can invest into.
Yeah,
really, it's up to the individual to do their own research to say, hey, which one do I want to invest into?
Definitely. And, my wife and I were invested in tax liens, and that's something that you can also invest in. First time us doing that. And, it's something that I never knew was out there. And, so it's stocks, bonds, mutual funds, cryptocurrency, tax liens. You can invest in buying a business or buying into a business. You really got to look at those prohibited transaction rules or disqualified persons going into business with a disqualified person. So there's different rules that you really got to look out for and really understand because self-directed retirement plans, if you're a solo 401k, if you're self-employed with self-employment income and 0 employees and you have a solo 401k, like you're doing a lot of the heavy lifting, the record keeping on your own, and so you really want to be careful that you're sticking and following the rules when it comes to self-directed retirement plans.
Another common investment that we see inside of these plans is private money lending. A lot of individuals want to act as a bank where they lend out money and charge an interest rate. And so that, of course, is something that you can do with inside this retirement plan. But yeah, that's another big market that our clients are interested in, is how can I start lending this money out and get an interest rate on it.
That's true. And within your self-directed retirement plans, we have about 6 minutes and 35 seconds to go. But within your self-directed retirement plans that we give you, you have a lot of this paperwork or in that plan, whether on a solo 401k, we didn't really get a time to touch on it, but if you're wanting to take money out, just kind of like in like a regular 401k, if I had a 401k at the bank and I wanted to take money out of my 401k as a loan, a participant loan, because I am a participant in the 401k plan of my company. The same thing with a solo 401k as a self-employed individual with self-employment income and 0 employees. You can take a participant loan from your solo 401k. We have the paperwork in your plan to go ahead and do that. Plus, there are also some guidance on, how to do that. And so, there's a lot of flexibility when it comes to the self-directed solo 401k, and also for those that are W-2 employees. Now, Dallin, right? You could be a W-2 employee, but yet you can also have a business that it's your business. You're self-employed with self-employment income and 0 employees, and you could be generating revenue from that business, and you could have a solo 401k on that with that business being the adopting employer, still being a W-2 employee.
Yep, that is correct. Just being a W-2 employee does not disregard you from being able to have a solo 401k plan. The requirements to have one is just self-employment activity with no full-time non-owner employees. So yeah, it doesn't matter if you have the bulk of your earnings coming from a W-2 job, and then maybe you're making only $5,000 or $10,000 a year on the side. You can still open up a solo 401k plan using that income, and you can contribute to the plan. And you get a lot of benefits from using this type of retirement plan to manage your investments.
So when you started working in the self-directed retirement industry, how has that opened your eyes, Dallin? We got like 4 minutes and 20 seconds.
So it really has been an eye-opening experience to me. I think that this is something that's going to boom over the next few years. The majority of people that I meet in my day-to-day life, they have some kind of retirement plan. Yet less than 1% of the people out there have their retirement funds inside of a self-directed account like this that gives you the flexibility and the checkbook control. So that has been a huge thing that I've seen in my life, is just seeing people have this eye-opening moment like, oh my gosh, I didn't even realize this was a thing before, and now I'm giddy about all the different options that I have. So love seeing that, love working with people on that. But yeah, so many people that I meet and I talk to have these retirement plans. The majority of people do, but almost nobody is utilizing these self-directed plans. So it's been really awesome getting to see people wake up to the benefits and the potential that they have with these plans.
And there's a lot of resources out there. I mean, you got there's a lot of different resources, but we would really love the opportunity to speak to you. Like I said, you can get a hold of us at IRA123.com. That's IRA123.com, or go to DiscountSolo401k.com, DiscountSolo401k.com. There's a lot of great information. We would love the opportunity to speak with you. Like I said, there's no fee for a consultation call, and the ability to just spend a little bit of time answering some questions, getting to know a little bit more about self-directed retirement plans and how those retirement plans could really help maximize your retirement. Because at the end of the day, we're working through life, and we're all working for that day when we can retire. But we definitely want to retire with the ability to have peace of mind, the ability to not having to work on maybe a second job unless you or still working the job unless you have to. But it's the decisions that we make, especially right now can really impact how we retire. And at the end of the day, it's how do you want to retire? And for myself, I want to retire comfortably. For a lot of people, majority of people out there, they want to retire comfortably. And this is a way that you can do that. Any last minute thoughts, Dallin?
No, not that I can think of. I think we've covered most things here. If you do have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. We're just here to give you the information so that you can decide for yourself what the best route is going to be. We're not trying to force anything on you. So yeah, if you do have any questions about these self-directed retirement plans, feel free to reach out. We're just here to give the information.
And like I tell people, and I'm not here to sell you anything. I'm here to provide information. You take that information, make your best educated decision after chewing on it a little bit and seeing how it's going to positively impact you and your retirement. It's definitely something that is worth investigating and doing a little bit more research on. And like I said, I'm so thankful that, Dallin, that you are on with me today with Conversations with Mike Sparks. Thank you, Representative Mike Sparks, for giving me the opportunity to come on and fill in Conversations with Mike Sparks, which conversations on different topics. I just thought that today would be a great opportunity to talk about self-directed retirement plans and the ability to retire the way that you want to retire. And it's never too old to start your retirement. And we are just super excited, and as Dallin says, giddy about self-directed retirement planning. And so from all of us here with Conversations with Mike Sparks, from all of us here, and also Dallin Baker, Josh Rosales, get more information at DiscountSolo401k.com. That's DiscountSolo401k.com, or go to IRA123.com. That's IRA123.com. We look forward to having you reach out to us, give us a call, and us having a great conversation with you. From all of us, have a great day.